So here's something I can say to sum up this whole thing. If you want to take a look at how ridiculous the division is to really be fighting one group against another over every issue, diametrically opposed on each issue. If you want to see how ridiculous that is for an individual to make the choice to stay with their group. Now, I'm not saying it's stupid to stay with your group, but I'm saying if you want to know what's true, to take your truth from the group you're with and not understand the truth in the other group, either way, is really not good, especially when it comes to America and trying to run a country together. So, here's my example of why that's not good. If I look at the conservative milieu, if I look at their values, I look at what's important to them, I look at the legislation they pass, I look at the things they fight for and the things they fight against. And if I look at that whole thing, and I look and go, what's the most common value that's underneath each one of those? What is it? If I look at what's the common thing, is there a thread behind all of that? And I would say the largest thread, the most common thing that they feature is personal responsibility. It kind of comes out of a worldview that life is tough, life is difficult, and the best thing you can do is be the best you can do, is to be the best you are. And it's your job to do everything you can to make the world the way you want it to be. And to be the person, it's your responsibility. You are responsible. If I look over on the left, if I look at what the liberals value most, I grew up in this. I am one. What we value most, what we think is most important, the legislation, the agenda, the values, everything we pursue and the way we make decisions is guided by a different principle. It's actually two opposite principles that need to be in balance. Over here, at the liberal side, what I see is the fundamental principle is compassion. We need to not leave anyone out. We need to take care of us, the we. We need to take care of all of us. We need to take care of each other. So, two different worldviews, right? One, take responsibility. The other, we need to take care of each other. We need to have compassion. We need to look to others and make sure we're all okay and that we're all in this together. Right? So, my point is if you're in either one of those groups, and that's the lens you see every issue from, you're going to be lost. And both groups are going to be way out of balance. Because if I live my life too biased towards we need to look out for each other, we need to have empathy, we need to take care of each other, if I live my life by that, and I suddenly don't pay enough attention to my personal responsibility, which is very easy to do because personal responsibility is not easy. It's hard. If I do that, I pay the price. I'll pay the price by lack of fulfillment, by lack of fulfillment, by lack of feeling like I have the strength and power in my own life to have areas where I'm the captain of my own ship, where I can create what I want, where I can have the life I want, where I have some say and about who I am and what I do, to the point that feels like I'm actually taking the gifts that I've been given and growing them and nurturing them in a robust way that makes me feel fully alive and more of an individual. That's what I'm missing. And I grew up as a liberal and I didn't get enough of that. I got some of it. I got it in good doses. Personal responsibility was not missing on the liberal side. I got it. But I fell into the trap of being more about the we and everything that goes with that. Over here on the right, it's the same problem. If you see everything as individuals and you fall into that trap, you end up alone. You end up not having a group. You end up not taking care of your culture, your group, it's two highly functional principles that we know both need to have in balance. Some people are going to be more liberal. Some people are going to be more conservative. There's personal difference, and there's also cultural difference. So my suggestion is to watch the news that's the news you love to hate. And watch it and start watching for the good in it. Look over on the other side of the fence and get past your judgments and get past those quick things where you go, well, this looks like racism and that looks like this and they're against the environment and da-da-da. And look a little deeper and take time and get yourself an education. And I would say, isn't that what a good liberal does? Aren't we supposed to be multicultural? I think we're multicultural with everybody except the people that we're fighting at this point. I don't think we're multicultural with them at all. So I know I wasn't. So, and vice versa. Because what you'll find out, and once you see it, it's shocking, it's stunning, when you realize how biased the media is and how biased we all are against each other, especially at this point. We are biased and it's not true. We don't understand the culture. We don't understand the people. But if you don't take time, if you're not willing to open up, it's so much easier to stay in your group. And what I'm suggesting is hard and difficult and challenging. But when you're ready, if you are open-minded and you are ready, you will get the benefit of wisdom and maturity and understanding that is what we need right now in our world. That's what we need in our world. We're at a critical time, and we need your wisdom and your maturity and your understanding and your listening and your compassion and your personal responsibility, and you taking responsibility for doing whatever you can do and whoever you can be, and for you having compassion and understanding that includes the people you disagree with and the people you fight against. There's nothing wrong with fighting. If you're fighting, if you draw a line in the sand of you may pick something on the environment or with race or at any point, there's nothing wrong with taking a stand and drawing a line in the sand. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I'm not saying either side shouldn't do that. You can draw a line to contain or to stop something you don't think is right. But don't do it at the expense of dehumanizing the others, and don't do it at the expense of your compassion and understanding. Keep your compassion and understanding up front. Keep your personal responsibility up front. Take responsibility. If I don't take responsibility socially, what do? I whine and complain. And I go, God, isn't it awful? I can't tell you how many conversations I've been about how awful Trump is, but none of those conversations ever talk about what we need to do besides maybe at the election we can get rid of him. That's about as far as it goes. And that's insufficient. We're facing much more complex problems now. So if you've stayed with me this far, please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Subscribe. And I look forward to talking with you again soon.